Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about one of the most underestimated parts of any car, the timing belt. It's a simple strip of reinforced rubber that plays one of the most crucial roles inside your engine. If it fails, the consequences can be catastrophic, sometimes even destroying the engine completely. In the next minutes, I'll explain exactly how the timing belt works, why it wears out, how to recognize the warning signs, what happens if it breaks, and why replacing it on time can literally save you thousands of dollars. So grab a coffee, sit back, and let's dive into the world of timing belts. The timing belt is the heart of your engine's timing system. It connects the crankshaft to the camshaft, making sure that the valves and pistons move in perfect synchronization. Every single movement inside your engine depends on this belt. When it's working properly, the engine runs smoothly, efficiently, and with full power. Older engines used to rely on timing chains, but many modern engines switch back to timing belts. Why? Belts are lighter, quieter, and cheaper to produce. However, they also have one major downside: they wear out over time. Unlike a timing chain, which can last the lifetime of the engine if properly maintained, a belt must be replaced regularly. A timing belt isn't just a piece of rubber. Inside, it's reinforced with fiberglass or Kevlar fibers for strength and stability. The outer surface is coated to resist friction and high temperatures. But even with modern materials, it still ages. Over time, it becomes brittle, stretches, or cracks. And that's when the trouble begins. Replacement intervals vary depending on the manufacturer. Some cars require a new belt every 60,000 miles, others can go 120,000 miles or even more. But remember, those are ideal conditions. Short trips, extreme heat, cold weather, or oil leaks can shorten the lifespan dramatically. Never rely blindly on the manufacturer's number. Always look for signs of wear. When a timing belt looks dry, shiny, or cracked, that's a big red flag. Sometimes you'll notice tiny frayed edges on the teeth. But here's the scary part. Often a belt looks fine on the outside, even though it's about to fail. That's why preventative replacement is so important. Once it snaps, it's already too late. If the belt breaks, the camshaft stops instantly, but the crankshaft keeps spinning. That means the pistons keep moving, and they smash straight into the valves. The result? Bent valves, damaged pistons, holes in the cylinder head. In other words, a complete engine failure. Mechanics call that valve salad. It sounds funny, but it's extremely expensive. Whenever a timing belt is replaced, it's not just the belt that should be changed. The tensioner, idler pulleys, and often the water pump should be replaced as well. All of these parts work together and wear out at a similar rate. If you only replace the belt and one of the pulleys fails later, the result is the same: a broken belt. That's why most workshops sell complete timing belt kits. In many modern engines, the water pump is driven by the timing belt. If it starts leaking, coolant can drip onto the belt, making it swell or slip. That alone can destroy your engine, so whenever you replace the belt, replace the pump too. It's cheap insurance against major damage. Changing a timing belt is not an easy do-it-yourself job. Even skilled mechanics take their time. The engine must be set to top dead center, meaning the pistons and valves are in exact alignment before removing the old belt. If this position is even slightly off, the engine may run rough, lose power, or not start at all. Professionals use locking tools to hold the camshaft and crankshaft in place during the process. When installing the new belt, the tension must be set perfectly. Too loose and it might skip teeth. Too tight and it can wear out the bearings in the water pump or camshaft. Most cars have a special tensioner with a marking that shows when the belt is correctly tensioned. Depending on the engine, a belt replacement can take anywhere from 2 to 8 hours. Some engines are easy to access, while others are extremely tight and complex. The cost usually ranges between $400 and $1,500 US, depending on the vehicle. It sounds expensive, but compared to a $5,000 engine rebuild, it's absolutely worth it. Now, many people ask, why don't car manufacturers just use chains in every engine? Good question, and the answer is all about efficiency. Chains are heavier, noisier, and create more friction. They also require constant lubrication from the engine oil. Belts, on the other hand, are lighter, quieter, and more efficient, perfect for small and economical engines. Some newer engines even use wet timing belts, which run inside an oil bath, combining the quietness of a belt with the longevity of a chain. Sounds ideal, but these belts can still degrade over time, especially if the oil isn't changed regularly. Dirty oil can attack the belt material and cause premature wear. Diesel engines in particular put extra stress on their timing belts. Because of higher compression, the forces acting on the belt are stronger than in gasoline engines. That's why diesel timing belts are usually wider and reinforced, but they still require timely replacement. Skipping it on a diesel can be a very expensive mistake. There are also early warning signs when something's wrong. A rough, idle, rattling noises or high-pitched whines from the engine bay might indicate that the belt is worn or misaligned. If you ever hear those sounds, get it checked immediately. Sometimes the belt has already jumped one or two teeth, which can throw off the engine timing, leading to loss of power or even damage. If you're buying a used car, the timing belt should always be one of the first questions you ask about. Don't accept "it was done at some point" as an answer. Always ask for a receipt or service record. If there's no proof, assume it hasn't been done and replace it right away. It's not worth taking chances. Think of the timing belt as insurance for your engine. Replacing it on time prevents thousands of dollars in repairs later. Many car owners delay the change to save money, and that's a classic mistake. When it finally breaks, it's usually on the highway under full load and the engine is done for. Then you're looking at a tow truck, a huge repair bill, and a lot of regret. When getting a new timing belt, always ask what brand the workshop is using. Reliable names include ContiTech, Gates, Dayco, and INA. Cheap no-name belts can snap prematurely, especially under high-stress conditions like turbocharged engines. Don't gamble on a $50 part when it can take down a $5,000 engine. If you're curious to check your belt at home, use a flashlight to look for cracks, shine, or frayed edges. But never start the engine with the cover removed, and never turn the engine by hand unless you know exactly what you're doing. Even one wrong turn can ruin the alignment. For anyone considering a DIY belt replacement, make sure you have the exact workshop manual and special locking tools for your engine. Timing is critical down to the millimeter. Get it wrong and the engine won't run properly. Or worse, you'll bend the valves as soon as you start it. In the future, timing belts might become less important. Electric cars don't have camshafts, crankshafts, or valves, so there's no need for any timing system at all. But as long as we keep driving gasoline and diesel engines, the timing belt will remain one of the most essential maintenance items in automotive history. So if you're not sure when your timing belt was last changed, check your service book today or call your mechanic. It's always better to replace it early than to wait until it's too late. If this video helped you understand how the timing belt works and why it's so important, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Does your car use a timing belt or a timing chain? Thanks for watching, and remember, one small belt can decide between a smooth running engine and a complete disaster. See you in the next video.